I'm Dr. George Flynn. You're watching In-Depth TV, and you'll want to stay tuned to this because today we're going to talk with my friend and partner in this venture, Dr. Joe Santoso. We're going to talk about how you, in the next few minutes, you can learn some tricks, some secrets, some techniques so that you can live longer. And anybody that doesn't want to hear this, I don't know, you may need to go see a psychiatrist. But Dr. Santoso, thank you for being here, and thank you for helping us understand more about longevity and what to do. You know, there are pills out there, there are all kind of nutrition products, there's supplements. We're inundated with information. Who knows what's right and what's wrong? So you're here as a medical doctor to help us straighten out what is correct and what will help us live longer.
Let's keep it simple. Not only you live longer, but you live more healthy.
Okay.
Isn't that important?
So in other words, you have quality and quantity
Correct.
of life.
Correct.
Okay, good.
Now, I look into this, I read the literature, and I come up with the conclusions. About 30% you can't control. But the good news is 70% of these factors that contribute to your longevity and your healthy status are controllable.
Well, let's talk first about the 30% you can't control, and so you're off the hook on some of this, 30% of it. What are some of the factors that you cannot control?
Gender.
Gender.
Unfortunately, being male will die sooner than our spouse. Just simply that. Women are stronger and smarter, and they live longer than us.
Okay.
Secondly, where you were born.
Where you were born?
Correct.
Okay.
If you're born in certain area that very contaminated, next to nuclear plant, I'm just exaggerating here.
Okay, if you were born in Oak Ridge, you got to listen to this.
You can't control that. Also, who your parents are.
Okay.
You can't control that. There are hereditary diseases that just come with you. Recently, we talked about ovarian cancer. There are other cancer that hereditary.
Okay.
But the good news is 70% you could control.
Okay, so 30% you just can't control.
30% you cannot.
30% you cannot control. Yeah, you cannot control. 70% you can control. Now we're talking. Now,
Correct.
What are some of these that we can control? Because I'm sure people watching this want to do something about this.
Right. So I wasn't the only one that asked this question. Many other people have done. And one of a group that done a study called Blue Zone study. Blue Zone in looking in the world, who are the people that live longest and also healthy. And they identified there are 3 regions in the whole world.
Who did this study, by the way?
I don't remember his name.
In the Blue Zone.
Correct,
Okay.
but it's called Blue Zone
I
study.
mean, was it a U.S.-based study?
It's U.S.-based study.
Okay, so it was based in the United States.
Correct. But the study is in the entire
For the world, right.
Interestingly, there are 3 areas in the world. And the first one is Okinawa in Japan.
Okinawa, okay.
Second is Mediterranean.
Mhm.
Mediterranean.
Right.
And the third, interestingly, is in the United States.
There's a place in the United States.
And where the people live long and healthy. And could I ask you that question? Where would that be if you were to guess?
It would be somewhere where they probably eat a lot of seafood.
Sure.
And that would be New Orleans? I don't know.
Well, I'll give you a hint. In California.
It's in California,
Yes.
on the coast.
Well, pick which part California, southern or northern?
Southern.
Very good. Where? You're getting warmer. I'll give
San
you a hint.
Diego.
No,
Los
I'll give you a
Angeles.
hint. Close to Los Angeles.
Really?
You wouldn't believe that, right?
No.
It's Loma Linda.
Loma Linda.
Yeah.
No wonder Loma Linda University's out there.
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
And it's a group that
Has it got something to do with Seventh-day Adventists?
it is. It's now I'm not trying to talk about religion here, but I'm talking about what we could learn from them that make them live healthy and longer.
Okay.
The Seventh-day Adventists in general are vegetarian, and they very active, and very importantly, they have very strong support system.
Now, wait a minute. You're talking about diet, exercise, and support to diet and exercise.
And those are controllable. Those we could control.
Yes.
What we put in our mouth, what we exercise, and who we want to be friend with, we could control that.
You know, I understood that for the first time. I know, for the first time the other day when I said I can control what I put in my mouth.
Correct.
In diet. And I've heard this, and once you understand that, and he just told you, once you understand you can control what you put in your mouth, whether it's potato chips or broccoli, you can control that. And you have full control over that. So what do they choose?
Well, they by living that lifestyle, studies after study have shown this group of people not only live longer, but they live more healthy.
Good.
They do not smoke. They do not drink. So again, those are controllable. We don't have to smoke.
You don't have to smoke, yes.
And I've been telling my patient, and usually I don't really get good feedback from them when I say, don't drink wine, just eat grapes. Kroger just have sale, $1.99 a pound. No, I'm not promoting Kroger here, but
we just have eat grapes.
Yeah. Alcohol on its own could irritate our digestive system and induces cancer.
There was a study years ago that a glass of wine a day would help your arterial system, and then they've come out with a new study that you shouldn't drink any wine. Where is the...
I think there's so much confusion, like you mentioned earlier. There's so much information that you don't even know where to go. So
what to believe.
I'm going to make it simpler.
Okay.
Again, I'm going to repeat that again. What you can control to prolong your life and to make it healthy, quality and quantity. Number one, eat less calorie. More vegetarian. So number one is diet.
So you're saying you can eat more but less calories if you eat a lot of salads and lettuce, but you can eat plenty. It's just low calorie food.
Low calorie and healthy. Mm-hmm. Now, I want to stress about salad. I have some patient that says, Dr. Santoso, I've been eating all those salad and I'm still gaining weight. And I says, what kind of dressing do you eat? And they would say, I just put all those ranch dressing.
Right.
That won't work. So again, you have to think about healthy and calorie. So number one is diet. So eating less calorie, more vegetable, more fruits, that's number one. You control that.
Okay.
Number two, more active living, exercise. You don't even have to have a gym membership. I do not. I park my car further away and I purposely run or walk to
this man. I have followed him through the hospital. He walks so fast. The residents and interns cannot keep up with him. I mean, I think that's genetic. You just walk fast.
No, not at all. It's I take stairs rather than elevator, things like that. So it's a choice. And I get about 10,000 steps just working every day. I don't have to specifically doing exercise. So again, number two is activity.
Okay.
And number three is who you friend with.
That is important.
Yes.
There's an adage out there that if you look at your 5 best friends and add up and get the average of their income, that will be your income. The same thing holds true of health on your lifestyle. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. If you add up their lifestyle, that will be your lifestyle.
Correct.
So some of you might have to make new friends. If you got a bunch of drinking buddies, maybe you ought to rethink that.
Or perhaps you become the change. You become the good influence for the rest of your friend, so they could change their lifestyle. So again, only 3: diet, what you put into your mouth, exercise, more activity, and your friends and family.
Friends and family. Could we go off to a little bit of a side road here? Let's talk about, we're talking about diet, and people say, well, I love sweets. What about artificial sweeteners?
I don't think that's a good idea. The brain thinks that each time you have sweet taste, it seeks for the calorie. So if it doesn't get that calorie, it compensates in other way, and you ended up eating more.
Right. And like diet drinks. I mean, you get the artificial sweet taste, and some viewers might have a pre-diabetes or diabetic condition. What about artificial sweeteners and diabetes?
My recommendations is, again, I would stay away from that. Now, you would say, I can't live without soda, diet soda, or anything like that. Yes, we could. It takes time. Anything to change takes time. So I recommend reducing the amount steadily. And at some point, what happens is you have sweet receptor in your tongue.
Right.
And as we drink more and more sweet, it down-regulates. That means it becomes numb to sweetness. So you have to seek for more and more sweet. By reducing amount of sweet, you actually could taste other food sweeter.
Right. And from what I've heard in what I've seen in my research, if you have an artificial sweetener and your tongue tastes it, it stimulates the pancreas to secrete insulin. And therefore, if you have increased insulin, all of a sudden you're still stressing your pancreas and the insulin. You're stressing everything out, even though it's an artificial sweetener.
And this is what's interesting. Not only you stress the pancreas releases insulin, and the rest of your cell will become numb to insulin.
Right.
So you become insulin resistant, and that's called diabetes.
Diabetes, and there's a thing called Syndrome X. And Syndrome X is high insulin, and it causes all kind of problems with cholesterol metabolism. It causes kind of problems with arterial calcifications. And so we're saying, let's be sensible. Let's not try to break the rules. Let's not try to go around how we're really made, with artificial sweeteners. And
this is where I went around earlier about intermittent fasting.
Right.
Just do that. Eating 8-16. Eat what your meal 3 times a day within 8 hours.
Within 8 hours.
And
then
the
fast 16
the other
hours.
16 hours, you allow the pancreas to rest and the rest of the body to upregulates their insulin receptor.
And that does not mean you can't drink water.
Correct. Oh, water is
have
free.
Water.
You could drink as
All
much
the
as you
water
like.
you want.
Right.
Okay, and then everybody will say, okay, well, what about iced tea? Everybody pushes the line.
Iced tea is fine without sugar.
Right, without sugar.
So you could drink your tea with ice. That would be fine.
Okay. And instant coffee. Everybody will push the line. I know what you're thinking. I know exactly what you're thinking because we all think the same way. We come up with the rules and then they say, but what about this? Is this a good exception? Well,
I think what I educate my patient is the best thing in the whole wide world is fresh water.
okay.
And if you set that goal, you could steadily reducing your dependence on other drink, and eventually you just drink water. And then after a while, you could taste that water sweetness, natural sweetness on its own.
And you're talking about just regular water. You
Yes.
don't have to have bottled water.
No.
You don't have to.
No.
You don't have to do any.
That touched my soft point. When we use all this bottled water, we increases so much trash or plastic trash, and we start seeing severe and serious environmental damages, not to just to us, to the earth, to the oceans. Now fish start to be contaminated with microplastic, we call it. They start ingesting plastic, and guess who eat the fish? We.
Dr. Santoso, I think we've got the topic of our next show is going to be what we're doing to the earth, and what is myth and what is for real that we're doing to the earth. So global warming, is it true or is it not? We're going to solve it. I'm Dr. George Flynn, and next time we're going to be delving into all of that with your lifestyle, your kids, your grandkids' lifestyle. We want to make sure that the earth is left better for us being here.